Part 1. Apparatus. The town has recently purchased some new firefighting apparatus. Assert. The witness asserted that the salesman was dishonest. Assign. He was pleased that he was assigned such an easy task in the company. Compensate. He gave me a new knife to compensate for the one of mine he lost. Deem. He would deem it an honor if the minister came to see him. Inviolable. Freedom of action is one of the inviolable rules of human behavior. Specimen. He collects specimens of all kinds of rocks and minerals. Stimulate. The beating of a drum on the battlefield stimulated the soldiers to fight more bravely. Tendency. Boys have a stronger tendency to fight than girls. Testify. He testified that the car was being driven slowly at the time of the accident. Tourist. Each year, many foreign tourists visit Taiwan for sightseeing. Utility. Their furniture was chosen for utility rather than for elegance. Page 16. Part 2. Blunt. Too much alcohol makes all your senses blunt. Elastic. Toy balloons, sponges, and steel springs are elastic. Exit. He left the building through the rear exit. When the cat came in, the little mouse made a hasty exit. Fatigue. He was pale with fatigue after his sleepless night. Heir. When he died, his young nephew was the only heir to his great wealth. Inflate. As the currency of a country is inflated, the prices of goods begin to rise. Plump. She is too plump to fit into this dress. Utterly exhausted, she plumped down on a chair. Recall. Mother could recall stories that she had heard years ago. The government recalled the general after he lost the battle. Shun. You can hardly shun meeting her if you and she both work in the same office. Sneer. The mean girl sneered at the poor girl's cheap clothes. Page 19. Part 3. Adjoin. Canada and Mexico adjoin the United States of America. Ally. Great Britain, France, and Italy were allied during the First World War. Great Britain and the United States were allies in both world wars. Chaste. Her parents teach her to be chaste and decent in her behavior. Confide. When she was a child, she always confided her problems to her sister. We can't confide in his words, for he often breaks his promises. Defy. The driver of the car was defying the traffic law by speeding. Disrupt. An accident has disrupted railway service into and out of the city. Slavery seemed likely to disrupt the Union. Enable. The bird's large wings enable it to fly very fast. Fantastic. The wall was covered with many fantastic pictures and photographs. Impact. The force of the impact threw the driver out of the car. Interfere. It is best not to interfere in other people's arguments. Minimize. You can minimize the dangers of driving by taking care to obey all the rules of the road. Narrate. Shall I narrate a strange experience of mine? Visual. The contrasting colors created an interesting visual effect. Page 21. Part 4. Appliance. The modern house has many useful electrical appliances. The appliance of electricity to household tasks makes housework much easier. Brood. There are 12 chickens in this brood. She brooded on her past mistakes so much that she became ill. Fringe. The woodcutter had a little house on the fringe of the forest. Gravel. The path to the house was covered with gravel. Hut. In the storm, they found a shabby hut in the forest. Lure. The fisherman had some bright-colored lures to attract fish. The hope of high profits lured him into questionable dealings. Perch. The bird flew down from its perch in the cage. The bird perched on the woman's shoulder. Retail. Most people buy meat and groceries at retail. Stride. Great strides have been made in science since 1900. Swarm. A swarm of people surrounded the car to see the famous actress in it. Rural populations swarmed into nearby towns. Twig. The tree bears so many apples that the twigs seem almost broken down. Wade. The bridge is far away from here. We'd better wade across the stream. Wrinkle. She is beginning to get many wrinkles around her eyes.